The book I read was All Quiet on the Western Front, written by Erich Maria Remarque. The story is about Paul Baumer, a young German soldier, along with his classmate in the World War I, and how war changed him physically and mentally. One of the major themes that is discussed in the overall story is the effects of war on soldiers. Effects such as shelling and combat, which the soldiers faced on the battlefield and left them with a deep wound on their lives. An important symbol in the novel is Camrich boots. Camrich, a young soldier like Paul, had the boots which are passed from soldier to soldier as each owner dies. As his leg got amputated, it would be taken by his friend Muller and the chain will continue. The boots itself represent the true nature of human being, whether as using the boots for durable use or being so greedy and selfish for a good pair of boots and not confronting the dying person. We were 18 and had begun to love life and the world, and we had to shoot it to pieces. The first bomb, the first explosion burst in our hearts. We are cut off from activity, from striving, from progress. We believe in such things no longer. We believe in the war. Quote told by Paul signifies that in such a young age, him along with his classmates had to join war and cut off from their normal life. This quote also says how much impact the war left on them that now they believe in war more than their own life. All Quiet on the Western Front can be related to another novel, Cells of Sarajevo, written by the national bestseller author Stephen Galloway. Characters from both novels experiences war and tells their story through their own perspectives. Cells of Sarajevo talks about the man on the hills doesn't want to win but rather wants to destroy the city. The same idea showed on the All Quiet on the Western Front about the motives of the enemy soldiers. My novel illustrates about having a friend by their side in worst situation. A novel, Ashes Ashes by Joe Gary, shares the same connection of friendship where 16-year-old Lucy, who survived from apocalypse, continues her journey with Aiden. The movie Saving Private Ryan showcases 24 minutes of war, and through that, people could make a mental image of how tough was it to survive in a battlefield with enemies trying their best to wash out Allied soldiers. This book is to be neither an accusation nor a confession, and at least of an adventure, for that is not an adventure to those who stand face to face with it. It will try simply to tell of a generation of men who, even though they may have escaped shells, were destroyed by the war. The author talks about people who have escaped from shelling but got destroyed by the war. In our modern generation, war is occurring on different parts of the world, including a well-known example of War of Syria. Syria faced a lot of devastating effects of airstrikes, chemical war, and land captures. Before, the population of Syria was around 22 million, but because of war, there was a decrease in population. People have been killed and tried to flee away from their homes. Fleeing away may have been a great option, but also comes with a loss. They have lost their homes, jobs, resources, and unfortunately enough their family members. The number of refugees increased, which comes back to the idea that they may have escaped but got destroyed by war. Paul joined the war without knowing how the conditions would be out there. Slowly he adjusted himself into the war environment and started teaching himself to face enemies with confidence and without fear. I could relate to Paul's situation, as when I moved from middle school to high school, it was hard for me to fit in. As time passed by, I eventually got settled in and I felt to be a part of high school again. Since childhood until now, I have a special connection and interest in war, whether as dressing up as a soldier or playing games of World War, and All Quiet on the Western Front was one of the war books which dragged my attention to read it. I thoroughly enjoyed reading All Quiet on the Western Front. This book is full of literacy devices and methods of development, which made reading really interesting. It also helped me to develop my literacy skills. The author, Erich Maria Remarque, himself faced a great war, and because of it, he couldn't pursue his dreams of becoming a concert pianist. Although his experience in war helped him to write a book on war, which the world could read it. It's hard to realize how far we came to lifetime. Most often when we look back, we can't imagine there was a war. True, reading books like All Quiet on the Western Front reminds us what people been through to protect their own country.